My beloved brothers and sisters, children of divine abundance and heirs to God's infinite prosperity, have you ever wondered why, despite your hard work, sincere prayers, and faithful efforts, financial blessings seem to slip through your fingers like water through a sieve? Perhaps you've noticed how money comes into your home only to disappear quickly through unexpected expenses, emergency repairs, or mysterious financial drains that leave you constantly struggling to make ends meet, no matter how diligently you labor or how carefully you budget. If these experiences resonate deeply within your heart, know that you are not alone in this spiritual and financial battle. Across every nation, in homes both humble and grand, countless souls have discovered that their financial struggles may not stem solely from external circumstances, but from the invisible spiritual forces that govern prosperity and abundance, forces that can be either attracted or repelled by where and how we store our money within our sacred dwelling places. Tonight, as your spiritual guide and humble servant of ancient wisdom, I come to you with a revelation that has transformed the financial destinies of thousands who have faithfully applied its sacred principles. What I am about to share with you is not modern financial advice or contemporary wealth-building strategy, but timeless wisdom rooted in the deepest understanding of how spiritual energy flows through our homes and either opens or blocks the channels through which divine abundance seeks to bless our lives. The knowledge I will reveal tonight has been carefully guarded by spiritual teachers for centuries, passed down through generations of wise men and women who understood that money is far more than mere currency. It is crystallized energy that responds to spiritual laws just as surely as plants respond to sunlight and water. When we unknowingly violate these sacred principles by storing our money in spiritually negative locations, we create invisible barriers that prevent prosperity from taking root and flourishing in our lives. Before we embark on this life-changing journey together, I invite you to connect with our global family of abundance seekers and create a sacred bond that transcends geographical boundaries. Take a moment now to comment below with your first name and the beautiful place from which you join us tonight. Whether you're reaching out from a bustling financial center where commerce flows like a mighty river, a peaceful rural community where honest work still provides for families, or a developing region where hope for better days burns bright in countless hearts, then, with a spirit open to transformation and a heart ready to receive divine wisdom about prosperity, write these powerful words that will echo through the spiritual realm and begin shifting the very foundations of your financial reality. I open my home to divine abundance and prosperity. This is not merely a comment, but a sacred declaration that aligns your dwelling with the frequencies of blessing and creates pathways for financial miracles to manifest in your life. The sacred science of money's spiritual nature. Let me begin by sharing with you a profound encounter that forever changed my understanding of money's hidden spiritual properties and the mysterious ways that our homes either attract or repel the abundance that God desires to pour into our lives. During a teaching mission to a remote mountain village in Tibet, where ancient wisdom about prosperity has been preserved for over 2,000 years, I met Master Chen, an elderly sage whose weathered hands had once counted coins for the emperor's treasury, but who had chosen to dedicate his final decades to understanding the spiritual laws that govern wealth and poverty. Master Chen told me of his early years as a successful merchant, when despite earning substantial profits from his trading ventures, he found himself constantly struggling with financial instability. Money would flow into his household like a rushing stream, only to disappear just as quickly through unexpected losses, theft, family emergencies, and business setbacks that seemed to strike with uncanny regularity. I thought the problem lay in my business methods, he confided, with the gentle smile of one who has learned hard-won wisdom. I worked longer hours, negotiated better deals, expanded my trading routes, and increased my profit margins. Yet still, prosperity remained as elusive as morning mist, appearing briefly only to vanish before I could grasp it firmly. One day, following the counsel of an ancient master who had studied the spiritual dimensions of wealth for 70 years, Master Chen conducted a thorough examination of where and how he stored money within his home. What he discovered would revolutionize not only his own understanding, but eventually transform the financial lives of countless students who sought his wisdom. Every location where I kept money, he explained with the precision of a scientist and the reverence of a mystic, was creating spiritual blockages that prevented abundance from taking root in my life. My coins were stored in places that carried negative energy, locations that actually attracted poverty and financial loss rather than prosperity and growth. Following ancient principles that had been carefully preserved in sacred texts, Master Chen relocated his money storage to spiritually positive locations within his home while removing it completely from areas that carried poverty-attracting energies. The transformation that followed was nothing short of miraculous. Within 30 days, he told me with eyes that still held wonder at the memory, my financial situation began to stabilize for the first time in years. Within 3 months, opportunities for increased income appeared from sources I had never imagined. Within 1 year, I had achieved the financial security that had eluded me despite decades of hard work. But the changes extended far beyond personal gain. Master Chen noticed that his entire household began experiencing greater harmony. His family members found new opportunities for advancement, and even his neighbors began commenting on the positive changes they sensed in his home's atmosphere. It was as if removing money from poverty-attracting locations had lifted a spiritual curse that had been affecting not just his finances, but his entire living environment. The hidden enemies of prosperity in your home. Before we explore the 7 specific locations that actively repel abundance from your life, it's crucial to understand the invisible spiritual forces that either support or sabotage your financial well-being through the subtle energies that permeate every corner of your dwelling. The law of energetic resonance. Every object in your home vibrates at specific frequencies that either harmonize with prosperity consciousness or create dissonance that blocks abundance from flowing freely into your life. Money, being crystallized energy that represents the exchange of value between human beings, is particularly sensitive to the spiritual atmosphere in which it is stored. When money is placed in locations that carry negative energy areas associated with waste, decay, conflict, or spiritual heaviness, it begins to resonate with those frequencies, actually attracting more of the same energy patterns into your financial life. Conversely, when money is stored in locations that vibrate with positive, growth-oriented energy, it becomes a magnet for increased abundance and financial blessing. The ancient principle of spatial spiritual influence. Traditional wisdom from cultures across the globe recognizes that different areas of our homes carry distinct spiritual qualities that affect everything from health and relationships to career success and financial prosperity. The Chinese art of feng shui, the Indian science of Vastu Shastra, and the European tradition of sacred geometry all acknowledge that the placement of important objects, including money, can dramatically influence the flow of beneficial energy through our living spaces. These traditions teach that money stored in spiritually negative locations creates what might be called prosperity leaks, invisible drains through which abundance escapes from our lives just as quickly as it arrives. Meanwhile, money kept in positive locations acts as a prosperity seed that grows and multiplies through spiritual principles that transcend conventional financial understanding. The subconscious programming effect, perhaps most importantly, where we choose to keep our money sends powerful subconscious messages to our minds about our relationship with abundance and our worthiness to receive financial blessings. When we carelessly stuff money into areas associated with garbage, darkness, or neglect, we program our subconscious minds to treat prosperity as worthless, temporary, or shameful. This subconscious programming then influences every financial decision we make, every opportunity we notice or overlook, and every action we take that either supports or sabotages our financial growth. By consciously choosing to store money in locations that honor its spiritual nature and affirm our worthiness to receive abundance, we begin reprogramming our minds for prosperity consciousness, the 7 poverty-attracting locations that are sabotaging your wealth. Now that you understand the spiritual principles underlying money's response to its environment, let me reveal the 7 specific locations in your home that are actively working against your financial prosperity, creating invisible barriers that prevent abundance from taking root and flourishing in your life. First poverty location, the bathroom and toilet area. The bathroom represents the most spiritually problematic location for money storage in your entire home. Yet countless people unknowingly keep coins, bills, or financial documents in bathroom drawers, medicine cabinets, or near toilet areas without realizing the devastating effect this has on their prosperity consciousness. Bathrooms are designed for elimination and cleansing activities that, while necessary for physical health, create powerful spiritual associations with waste, disposal, and the removal of unwanted substances from our lives. When money is stored in these areas, it becomes energetically programmed with elimination energy, creating a spiritual command for abundance to be flushed away from your life, just as surely as waste is removed through the plumbing system. I remember counseling Maria, a hardworking nurse from Barcelona, whose family had struggled with poverty for 3 generations despite their sincere work ethic and moral character. During a spiritual consultation about her home's energy, I discovered that she kept her emergency fund in a small tin hidden behind the toilet in her bathroom location her grandmother had recommended as safe from thieves. Within 2 weeks of relocating this money to a more spiritually appropriate location, Maria received an unexpected promotion at the hospital where she worked, followed by a substantial increase in her husband's construction wages. It's as if someone lifted a curse from our family's financial life, she wrote to me months later. Money finally stays with us instead of disappearing as quickly as it arrives. The spiritual damage caused by bathroom money storage extends beyond the immediate elimination associations. Bathrooms are also the most humid areas of most homes, creating physical conditions that can damage currency while symbolically representing the dissolution and decay of wealth. Additionally, these spaces are typically the most private and hidden areas of our homes, programming our subconscious minds to treat money as something shameful that must be concealed from view. Immediate action required. If you currently store any money, coins, financial documents, or prosperity symbols in bathroom areas, relocate them immediately to one of the positive locations I will describe later in this teaching. As you remove the money, offer this prayer. Divine source of all abundance, I honor the gift of prosperity by removing it from places of elimination. Guide this money to locations where it can grow and multiply for the benefit of my family and all those we are called to serve. Second poverty location, kitchen garbage areas and near trash containers. The kitchen garbage area and any location near trash containers throughout your home create another powerful prosperity-repelling force that many people unknowingly activate by keeping spare change, emergency cash, or financial documents near waste disposal areas. Garbage represents everything we no longer value, everything we consider worthless enough to discard, and everything we want to permanently remove from our lives. When money is stored near these areas, sivan, in adjacent drawers or cabinets, it begins absorbing the spiritual frequency of waste and worthlessness, programming both your subconscious mind and the spiritual atmosphere of your home to treat financial abundance as garbage that should be discarded. The proximity effect of garbage on money is particularly insidious because it operates below the threshold of conscious awareness. You may not consciously connect the money in your kitchen junk drawer with the trash can beneath your sink, but your subconscious mind creates powerful associations between these spatially related objects, gradually eroding your prosperity consciousness through repeated exposure to waste disposal energy. I encountered this principle firsthand while counseling David, a small business owner from Toronto whose restaurant was constantly struggling despite serving excellent food in a prime location. During our discussion, he mentioned that he kept his daily cash receipts in a drawer directly above the large garbage container in his kitchen, following his father's advice that this location would keep the money out of sight from employees. After relocating his money storage to a dedicated cash box placed in the restaurant's spiritual prosperity corner, David's business began experiencing steady growth for the first time in years. Within 6 months, he had expanded to a second location, and within 2 years, he owned a small chain of successful restaurants. The only change he made was honoring money by storing it away from garbage energy. The energetic contamination effect. Money stored near garbage doesn't just absorb waste energy, it actually becomes a conduit for spreading poverty consciousness throughout your entire financial life. Every time you handle money that has been contaminated by proximity to waste, you transfer that negative programming to other financial transactions, business dealings, and prosperity opportunities. Third poverty location, under the bed and bedroom floor areas. While many people believe that storing money under the bed provides security and convenience, this location actually creates one of the most subtle yet devastating forms of prosperity sabotage that exists in modern homes. The space beneath your bed represents the subconscious realm, the hidden areas of your psyche where deep-seated beliefs about money, worthiness, and abundance operate below your conscious awareness. When money is stored in this location, it becomes energetically entangled with whatever subconscious financial programming you carry, usually fears, limitations, and poverty consciousness inherited from family patterns or past experiences of lack. More importantly, the area under your bed is where you are most vulnerable and unconscious for approximately 8 hours each night. During sleep, your conscious mind's defenses are relaxed, making you far more susceptible to absorbing whatever energies surround your resting space. Money hidden under your bed creates a constant stream of mixed messages about prosperity, simultaneously treating it as valuable enough to hide, yet worthless enough to place beneath your body, where it literally supports your unconscious fears and limitations about abundance. Ancient spiritual traditions recognize the area beneath sleeping surfaces as particularly susceptible to negative spiritual influences. When money is stored in these locations, it can actually attract spiritual forces that feed on financial fear and scarcity consciousness, creating a slow but steady drain on your prosperity that manifests as unexpected expenses, financial emergencies, and missed opportunities. Sarah, a single mother from Phoenix, contacted me after years of financial struggle, despite working 2 jobs and managing her money carefully. She had been storing her children's college fund, over $3,000 in cash in a shoebox under her bed, believing this would keep it safe and easily accessible for emergencies. After relocating this money to a proper prosperity location and blessing it with prayers of abundance, Sarah experienced a remarkable shift in her financial life. She received an unexpected inheritance from a distant relative, her work hours increased with better pay, and most importantly, she began attracting opportunities that had previously seemed impossible for someone in her circumstances. Fourth poverty location, closets and dark storage areas. Closets and dark storage areas create prosperity problems through their association with concealment, shame, and the accumulation of unused possessions that represent stagnant energy in our lives. When money is stored in these locations, it absorbs the energy of things we want to hide from others, objects we're ashamed to display, and possessions we've relegated to darkness because they no longer serve our current life vision. The spiritual principle at work here involves the relationship between light and abundance. Prosperity consciousness thrives in environments filled with light, openness, and positive energy flow, while poverty consciousness feeds on darkness, concealment, and stagnation. Money stored in closets and dark areas literally programs itself and your subconscious mind to remain hidden from the light of opportunity and growth. Additionally, closets are typically filled with accumulated possessions that we rarely use, creating an energetic atmosphere of excess and waste that conflicts with the natural flow of abundance. True prosperity involves the healthy circulation of resources, not the hoarding and hiding of wealth in dark corners where it cannot contribute to the positive energy flow of your home. The darkness itself carries spiritual significance that affects money's energetic properties. Throughout human history, darkness has been associated with fear, secrecy, and spiritual forces that oppose growth and blessing. When money is stored in dark locations, it begins resonating with these frequencies, actually attracting more darkness in the form of financial problems, missed opportunities, and unexpected losses into your life. The stagnation effect. Money stored in closets becomes energetically stagnant, much like water that sits without movement, eventually becomes stale and unfit for consumption. This stagnation then influences your entire financial life, creating patterns where money comes into your life but fails to grow, multiply, or create the positive changes you desire. Fifth poverty location. Laundry areas and cleaning supply storage. Laundry rooms and areas where cleaning supplies are stored create prosperity problems through their association with dirt removal, stain elimination, and the constant battle against disorder and decay. While cleanliness is certainly important for spiritual and physical health, storing money in these areas programs it with cleaning energy that works to eliminate and remove abundance from your life rather than attract and multiply it. The spiritual dynamics of laundry areas are particularly complex because they involve both water and chemical elements that can either purify or contaminate depending on their spiritual context. In laundry areas, water is used to remove unwanted substances, while chemicals are employed to break down and eliminate stains and odors. When money is exposed to this energetic environment, it begins absorbing the intention to remove, eliminate, and break down, rather than to grow, multiply, and prosper. Many people store loose change or emergency cash in laundry rooms because these areas seem secure and rarely visited by others. However, this creates a powerful subconscious association between money and the messiest, most labor-intensive aspects of household maintenance activities we typically want to complete as quickly as possible so we can move on to more enjoyable pursuits. The chemical environment of cleaning supply storage areas adds another layer of prosperity interference. Most household cleaning products contain harsh chemicals designed to break down organic matter, kill bacteria, and dissolve stubborn residues. While these chemicals serve their intended purpose, they create an energetic atmosphere that is fundamentally opposed to growth, life, and multiplication, the very qualities we want to encourage in our financial lives. Immediate spiritual cleansing required. If you have been storing money in laundry or cleaning areas, it's essential to energetically cleanse both the money and the location after removal. Wash your hands thoroughly after handling money from these areas, and consider exposing the currency to sunlight for several hours to neutralize any negative energy it may have absorbed. Sixth poverty location. Basement and underground storage areas. Basements and underground storage areas create unique prosperity challenges through through their association with descent, burial, and separation from the life-giving energy of sunlight and fresh air. In spiritual traditions worldwide, upward movement is associated with growth, aspiration, and connection to divine blessing, while downward movement represents decline, decay, and spiritual heaviness. When money is stored in basement areas, it literally becomes buried treasure, but not in the positive sense that phrase usually implies. Instead, it becomes energetically buried beneath the conscious awareness level of your prosperity consciousness, programming your subconscious mind to treat abundance as something that must be hidden underground rather than elevated and celebrated as a divine blessing. The lack of natural light in most basement areas compounds this problem by depriving money of the solar energy that has been recognized throughout history as essential for growth and vitality. Just as plants cannot thrive without adequate sunlight, money stored in dark underground areas cannot absorb the energetic frequencies necessary for multiplication and attraction of increased abundance. Basement storage also creates problems through its association with foundations and structural support. While strong foundations are certainly important for buildings, money stored in basement areas becomes energetically committed to maintaining existing structures rather than growing beyond current limitations. This creates a subtle but persistent ceiling on your financial potential that prevents breakthrough to higher levels of prosperity. The moisture and temperature fluctuations common in basement areas add physical degradation concerns that mirror the spiritual problems created by this storage location. Money that becomes physically damaged by humidity begins resonating with decay and deterioration, energies that influence your entire financial life in negative ways. Underground energy reversal. If you must temporarily store money in basement areas due to security concerns, mitigate the negative effects by placing it in a sealed container along with symbols of growth and elevation, perhaps a small plant cutting or an image that represents upward movement and positive change. Seventh poverty location, near windows and doorways, exit points. The final poverty-attracting location may surprise you because windows and doorways are often considered positive areas for energy flow. However, when money is stored directly near these exit points, it becomes energetically programmed to leave your life just as easily as air flows through open windows and people pass through doorways. Windows and doors serve essential functions in creating healthy energy circulation throughout your home, but they also represent transition points where things enter and leave your living space. Money stored near these areas absorbs transitional energy that keeps it in constant motion rather than allowing it to settle and grow in your life. The spiritual principle involved here relates to the difference between healthy circulation and excessive drainage. While some money movement is necessary and positive, representing the flow of commerce and exchange that keeps abundance moving through your life, money that cannot remain stable long enough to multiply and grow creates patterns of financial instability that prevent long-term prosperity. Many people keep spare change or small bills near doorways for convenience, not realizing that this programs both the money and their subconscious minds to treat abundance as something temporary that will quickly exit their lives. The proximity to departure points creates subtle anxiety about money's permanence that influences financial decisions in unconscious but significant ways. Windows present additional challenges through their transparency and exposure to external influences. Money stored near windows becomes energetically vulnerable to outside forces, both environmental conditions and the intentions of other people who may observe your living space. This vulnerability translates into increased susceptibility to financial losses, unexpected expenses, and external circumstances that disrupt your prosperity plans. The escape velocity effect. Money near exit points develops what might be called escape velocity, a spiritual momentum toward leaving your life that becomes stronger over time. The longer money remains near doors and windows, the more likely it becomes to manifest opportunities for unexpected expenses or financial drains that remove abundance from your life. The sacred art of prosperity placement. Now that you understand which locations actively repel abundance from your life, let me share with you the sacred principles for placing money in areas that attract prosperity, multiply blessings, and create powerful magnetic fields for increased financial flow. The Eastern Prosperity Corner. In traditional feng shui and many spiritual systems, the southeastern area of your home carries the strongest energy for attracting wealth and abundance. This direction is associated with the element of wood, which represents growth, expansion, and the upward movement of prosperity energy. Money stored in this area becomes energetically charged with growth potential and begins attracting opportunities for increased income from multiple sources. To activate your Eastern Prosperity Corner, place money in a beautiful box or container that honors its spiritual nature while surrounding it with symbols of growth such as healthy green plants, images of flowing water, or crystals known for their abundance-attracting properties. The sacred altar or dedicated prosperity space. Creating a dedicated altar or spiritual space specifically for honoring abundance transforms money storage from a practical necessity into a spiritual practice that continuously attracts blessings. This altar should be placed in a location that receives natural light, preferably facing east, to capture the energy of sunrise and new beginnings. Your prosperity altar can be as simple as a clean cloth spread on a small table, adorned with objects that represent abundance to you, perhaps fresh flowers, a bowl of fruit, or images that inspire feelings of gratitude and prosperity consciousness. The money placed here becomes part of a continuous prayer for blessing that activates powerful spiritual forces in support of your financial well-being. The heart of the home. The central area of your home, what many traditions call the heart of the house, carries powerful energy for manifesting intentions and creating positive change throughout your entire living environment. Money placed in this area becomes energetically connected to all aspects of your life, creating harmony between your financial goals and your overall well-being. This location works particularly well for families because it involves everyone in the household in maintaining positive energy around money, creating shared prosperity consciousness that multiplies the power of individual intentions. Advanced techniques for money, blessing, and multiplication. Beyond simply relocating money to spiritually positive areas, there are advanced techniques that can dramatically amplify your prosperity magnetism and create powerful momentum toward financial breakthrough. The New Moon Money Blessing Ritual. On the night of each new moon, when spiritual energy is particularly receptive to new intentions and fresh beginnings, perform a special blessing ceremony over all the money in your home. Hold each bill and coin while offering prayers of gratitude for its service and setting intentions for its multiplication and wise use. This monthly ritual creates a powerful spiritual charge that continues working throughout the lunar cycle, attracting opportunities and resources that align with your highest financial good. The Abundance Seed Technique. Select one special bill or coin to serve as your abundance seed, a piece of money that will remain permanently in your prosperity location to serve as a spiritual magnet for attracting more abundance. This seed money should never be spent, but should be treated with special reverence as a sacred object that holds your prosperity intentions. Periodically add additional money to your abundant seed collection, always maintaining the intention that these sacred funds are growing and multiplying through spiritual principles while attracting practical opportunities for increased income. The Gratitude Multiplication Method. Each time you add money to your prosperity storage area, spend a few moments in heartfelt gratitude for the abundance that money represents. Thank not only for the bills and coins themselves, but for the work that earned them, the opportunities that brought them, and the countless blessings they make possible in your life. This gratitude practice transforms routine money storage into a spiritual discipline that continuously reinforces prosperity consciousness and maintains your energetic alignment with abundance frequencies. The miraculous testimonies of financial transformation. The testimonies I have received from those who have implemented these sacred money placement principles continue to astound me with their consistency and the speed with which positive changes manifest. Carlos from Mexico City wrote, "I had been keeping my family's savings in a shoebox under our bed for 3 years, wondering why we couldn't seem to get ahead despite both my wife and I working full-time jobs. After relocating our money to a prosperity altar in our living room and blessing it according to your instructions, I received a promotion within 2 weeks, and my wife found a better paying position within a month. Our finances have completely transformed." Jennifer from Los Angeles shared, "As a real estate agent, my income was completely unpredictable, and I often went weeks without a sale despite working harder than my competitors. I discovered that I had been keeping my commission checks in my bathroom vanity until I could get to the bank. After creating a proper prosperity space in my home's wealth corner, my business took off immediately. I now consistently close more deals each month than I used to close in an entire year." Ahmad from London testified, "My family had struggled with poverty for generations, and despite my engineering degree and good job, money never seemed to stay with us long. After learning about the 7 poverty locations, I realized we had been storing emergency cash in almost every wrong place you mentioned. Within 3 months of implementing proper money placement, I received an unexpected inheritance, a substantial bonus at work, and my wife's small business began thriving for the first time." Maria from Sao Paulo reported, "I was skeptical about spiritual approaches to money until nothing else worked to break my family's cycle of financial struggle. After relocating our savings from a closet to a beautiful prosperity altar and blessing it weekly, opportunities began appearing from directions I never expected. My husband found better work, my children received scholarships, and I started a successful online business that now supports our entire extended family." Your immediate action plan for financial transformation. The transformation of your financial life begins tonight with concrete actions that honor money's spiritual nature while creating powerful momentum toward lasting prosperity. Step 1. Emergency money relocation. Before you sleep tonight, conduct a thorough search of your home to locate any money currently stored in the 7 poverty-attracting locations I have described. Gather all currency, coins, financial documents, and prosperity symbols that may be languishing in spiritually negative areas. As you collect each piece of money, offer this prayer. Sacred abundance, I honor your divine nature by removing you from places that limit your power to bless my life. I commit to storing you with reverence and gratitude, creating space for you to grow and multiply according to divine will. Step 2. Spiritual cleansing and purification. Money that has been stored in poverty-attracting locations requires spiritual cleansing to remove any negative energy it may have absorbed. Place all relocated money on a clean white cloth in an area that receives natural light, preferably morning sunlight that carries powerful energy for new beginnings. Allow the money to remain in sunlight for at least 1 hour while offering prayers of blessing and gratitude. If sunlight is not available, candlelight can serve as an alternative source of purifying energy. Step 3. Create your sacred prosperity space. Identify the most spiritually positive location in your home for establishing your new money storage area. This should be a place that feels peaceful, receives natural light, and inspires feelings of reverence and gratitude when you enter it. Clean this area thoroughly, both physically and spiritually, before establishing your prosperity space. You might burn sage or other cleansing herbs, sprinkle blessed water, or simply spend time in prayer asking for divine blessing upon this sacred location. Step 4. Establish sacred money storage ritual. Create a beautiful container or altar space that honors money's spiritual nature and your commitment to prosperity consciousness. This doesn't need to be expensive or elaborate even. A simple wooden box or ceramic bowl can become sacred through your intention and reverence. Each time you add money to this space, spend a few moments in gratitude for the abundance it represents and set clear intentions for its wise use and continued multiplication. Step 5. Weekly prosperity maintenance. Establish a weekly routine for tending your prosperity space, perhaps on Sunday evenings as you prepare for a new week of opportunities. During this time, review your financial goals, offer prayers of gratitude for progress made, and visualize continued growth and blessing. This weekly attention keeps your prosperity consciousness active and maintains the spiritual momentum necessary for sustained financial improvement. Beyond money storage, creating a prosperity conscious home. While proper money placement forms the foundation of a financially blessed home, creating complete prosperity consciousness involves attention to all aspects of your living environment. Eliminate poverty symbols and language. Remove from your home any objects, images, or decorations that represent scarcity, lack, or financial struggle. This includes broken items that remain unrepaired, empty containers that collect dust, or artwork that depicts poverty or want. Similarly, become conscious of the language used in your home regarding money and abundance. Replace phrases like "we can't afford it" with "we're choosing to spend our money differently, and money doesn't grow on trees, with abundance flows to us from many sources." Honor all forms of abundance. Extend your reverence for money to include all forms of abundance in your life: food, shelter, relationships, health, and opportunities. When you create a general atmosphere of gratitude and appreciation for life's blessings, you establish frequencies that naturally attract more abundance in all forms. Maintain sacred order and beauty. Keep your home clean, organized, and beautiful to the extent possible with your current resources. Sacred order creates energetic pathways for blessings to flow freely, while beauty inspires the uplifted consciousness that naturally attracts positive opportunities. The spiritual laws that govern wealth. Understanding the deeper spiritual principles that govern money and abundance helps maintain proper perspective as you implement these practical changes in your home. The law of circulation. Money must flow freely to remain healthy and multiply. While proper storage is important, avoid hoarding or excessive attachment to money that prevents its natural circulation through giving, investing, and wise spending. The law of gratitude. Appreciation for current blessings creates magnetic attraction for increased abundance. Regular gratitude practices amplify the power of proper money placement by maintaining consciousness aligned with blessing rather than lack. The law of service. Money attracted through spiritual principles carries responsibility for serving others and contributing to the common good. As your prosperity increases, seek opportunities to bless others through generosity and service. The law of faith. Trust in divine provision creates relaxed confidence that allows abundance to flow naturally without forcing or grasping. Faith-based prosperity consciousness attracts opportunities that align with your highest good and the welfare of all. Your sacred commitment to financial transformation. Before you begin relocating money and creating your prosperity space tonight, I invite you to make a sacred commitment that will amplify the power of these practices and align your entire being with divine abundance. Stand in the center of your home, face the area where you will establish your prosperity space, and declare with authority and faith, "Divine source of all abundance, creator of every blessing and opportunity, I recognize that money is sacred energy entrusted to my care for wise use and faithful stewardship. I commit to honoring this divine gift by storing it with reverence, treating it with gratitude, and using it in ways that bless my family and serve your purposes in the world. I release all poverty consciousness, all fear-based thinking about money, and all patterns inherited from previous generations that have limited my family's prosperity. I choose to align my home, my thoughts, and my actions with the frequencies of abundance, creating space for miracles to manifest and blessings to multiply. Let my home become a sanctuary of prosperity consciousness where abundance is attracted, multiplied, and shared in ways that bring glory to your name and benefit to all whose lives I touch. Guide me in creating sacred space for money that honors its spiritual nature while opening pathways for increased blessing to flow into every area of my life. As you prepare to implement these life-changing principles tonight, join your voice with thousands of others who have declared their commitment to prosperity consciousness and proper money honoring. Comment below with, "I open my home to divine abundance and prosperity," followed by your first name and location. This declaration creates spiritual accountability while connecting you with a global community of people who support each other's financial breakthrough and success. After 1 month of faithful implementation, return to share your testimony of transformation. Your words may provide the hope and encouragement someone else needs to take these crucial steps toward financial freedom and prosperity. Tonight, as you relocate your money from poverty-attracting locations to sacred prosperity spaces, know that you are not simply rearranging household items. You are participating in ancient spiritual practices that have created abundance for countless generations of wise men and women who understood money's deeper nature. The changes may begin immediately through unexpected opportunities, increased income, or relief from financial pressures that have burdened you for months or years. More importantly, you are establishing spiritual foundations that will continue attracting abundance for decades to come, creating a legacy of prosperity consciousness that benefits not only your immediate family but future generations who will inherit your wisdom and faith. Your home is meant to be a sanctuary of blessing where every aspect of life, including finances, reflects divine abundance and care. Through proper money placement and reverent prosperity practices, you align your dwelling with spiritual laws that naturally attract increased abundance while protecting and multiplying the resources already entrusted to your care. Share this sacred wisdom with others who struggle financially, especially those who work hard yet cannot seem to achieve lasting prosperity despite their sincere efforts. Your act of sharing may unlock financial breakthrough for families who have battled poverty for generations, not knowing that simple changes in money storage could transform their entire economic reality. Begin tonight with faith, proceed with consistency, and prepare to be amazed by the abundance that flows toward homes where money is honored, respected, and treated as the sacred energy it truly is. The 7 locations that attract poverty no longer hold power over your financial life. The keys to prosperity placement are now in your hands. Use them wisely, and watch as your home transforms from a place where money disappears into a sanctuary where abundance multiplies and divine blessings manifest in countless unexpected and wonderful ways. Your prosperity journey begins tonight. Open your home to abundance and prepare to receive blessings beyond your current ability to imagine or contain.